they're genuinely a bit clueless, don't really know much about dating, just stepping out into the dating world, don't know what they're doing, guys, who go, well, everyone does coffee dates, or I thought a coffee date was just quite a chill way of doing it, or they might have anxiety around dating, and they might have the right reason behind it. But even still, when I've asked those nice men, those men that are actually genuinely kind but just don't really know what they're doing in the dating scene, they just say to me, yeah, like, I just want to fit in as many as possible, and then I can just pick my favourite kind of vibe.
Yeah, so this is where this woman has a disconnect with reality. Okay, and this is how you can tell. The majority of men can't even go on multiple dates to the point where they need to shorten them by putting them as coffee dates. Like, she doesn't understand this. This woman does not understand the reality of dating as a normal, average man. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and on today's episode, we are going to be kicking it off with a clip from this woman right here, who went somewhat viral recently for releasing a video saying, I don't accept coffee dates from men. Okay, she needs you to take her out to dinner. She needs you to take her out and buy her drinks. She is not no ordinary woman. She deserves more than a coffee date. Now, of course, after making this video, she got roasted in the comments. Dudes called her out for it. And this is her video response, trying to do a bit of damage control. So let's jump into it. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
So my coffee date video seems to be doing the rounds and sparking a bit of a debate, which I love because I love a debate and that's why I make content. But I'm going to make a few things clear here that maybe weren't made clear enough. I thought they was, but apparently not. So I'm going to make it very clear now, both for men and the women. Number one, for the guys who do not like my preference, keyword there, preference, and keywords, my preference. For the men that don't like that, if you came to me and said, I don't like redheads, okay. I don't like petite girls, okay. I don't like short girls, okay. Date a tall girl. I wouldn't care, because you've just told me that I'm not your preference, so therefore I'm not going to waste my time with dating you. And that conversation would be very short-lived, and I would let you go about your business, and I'd go about my business, and I'd let you go find a non-petite, non-redhead girl that you like, and I would go find a man that likes to do non-coffee dates, bar dates, dinner dates, whatever. Really that easy. See how simple that was? I'm not your preference, so therefore we won't date. You're not my preference, so therefore we won't date. So coming into my comment section and being like, oh, well, this preference is wrong, or, oh, well, you're clearly a gold digger. First of all, I don't know where you got gold digger from. I don't do coffee dates. Projection of other videos you've clearly seen that you don't like and that made you feel a certain type of way, but that's a conversation for a different day.
Okay, so let's pause it here because I'm already getting a headache. We are like 30 seconds into this video, and this woman speaks at 1,000,000 words a minute. Absolutely insane. So here's the thing. The reason why dudes are roasting you and calling you a gold digger is because you feel like you are above a coffee date. A man has to invest more into you, right? This is what you've determined you are entitled to. I deserve a dinner date. I deserve a guy to come out and buy me drinks. And this is all very well and good, but the problem is if you're insufferable as a person, a lot of guys are not going to want to do this for you, and of course they're going to roast you. This is the equivalent, guys. Let me just package it a different way. This is kind of like a man who's unemployed and overweight demanding that a woman cook for him a dinner for their first date. Okay, that man is welcome to have his preferences, but of course people are obviously going to roast him for that. That's the obvious outcome, especially when you post a public video, by the way. You know, if you're a woman, and it doesn't really matter if you're a woman, if you're a dude, and you jump on the internet and you say, hey, this is what I deserve. I'm above coffee dates. I'm above XYZ. Then obviously people are going to roast you for it. I don't know how this is a hard concept to grasp. You're entitled to your preferences, sure, but people are also entitled to tell you that your preferences are stupid and they don't actually match reality. Because here's the thing, a lot of guys don't have an issue with chivalry, they don't have an issue with dinner dates. What they have an issue with is doing these things for women who don't deserve it and who are entitled and who make annoying TikTok videos. Let's continue.
Second of all, I wouldn't be fussed if I wasn't your preference. I'm not going to force you to like me. You must like me as a redhead. You must like me being short. You must like me being petite. You must like girls with smaller breasts. You don't see any of that happening because I don't care. Not your preference.
Nobody is saying this, by the way. Nobody's saying that you have to accept coffee dates. They're just laughing at you because you think you deserve more. I deserve a man to spend money on me. Oh, really? Oh, really? I just love the videos, man, where women, they expect traditional behavior from men. Oh, I only tolerate traditional behavior from men. First of all, that's a lie. This woman has guaranteed this woman is not celibate for, men who have not bought her dinner before. But it's just funny how women have these expectations of men, but they're completely insufferable. So men have no reason to give it to them.
And that is okay, because if everybody was everybody's preference, we'd all look the same and that'd be awfully boring. So I'm glad that I'm not your preference, because my preference is a man that wants to take me on a proper date. So therefore you see how us not being aligned makes us perfectly aligned for other people. Great. Girlies, when I'm talking about these coffee dates, I'm not talking just for the sake of talking. I'm talking from speaking to men, because when you make a man feel comfortable, they will tell on themselves. And I'm talking about across the board. Family members, clients, friends, random guys that ask me out on dates, random men I've got talking to on the train. I'm a very inquisitive person, so I ask these kind of dating questions across the board of all the men in my life, right, to get enough feedback that I feel like I can make a good judgment of what I'm saying is coming from a place of good background research, right? Sure, it's not fact from every man on the planet, but I'm not just taking these things out of thin air.
Oh my
goodness. And because when a man is comfortable, he tells on himself. When I'm with these guys and I say to them, look, be serious, I already know what it is, I'm not stupid, you can't pull the wool over my eyes, like, be honest. When I say that, they all admit to me, yeah, you know what, you're right. They all admit to me. Now, you will have men that do it for different reasons. You have the genuinely a bit clueless, don't really know much about dating, just stepping out into the dating world, don't know what they're doing, guys, who go, well, everyone does coffee dates, or I thought a coffee date was just quite a chill way of doing it, or they might have anxiety around dating, and they might have the right reason behind it. But even still, when I've asked those nice men, those men that are actually genuinely kind, but just don't really know what they're doing in the dating scene, they just say to me, yeah, like, I just want to fit in as many as possible, and then I can just pick my favourite kind of vibe.
Yeah, so this is where this woman has a disconnect with reality. Okay, and this is how you can tell. The majority of men can't even go on multiple dates to the point where they need to shorten them by putting them as coffee dates. Like, she doesn't understand this. This woman does not understand the reality of dating as a normal, average man. A normal, average man does not get so many dates that he has to specifically make them coffee dates so that he can fit all of the women into his calendar. The average man struggles to get a date, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of average guys, they don't make six figures. They're not the tallest men around. They don't put a lot of effort into their social media. Okay? They don't have thousands upon thousands of followers, typically because they don't give a damn, and a lot of guys consider this to be a vanity metric, which is true. But this is how you can tell this woman is so disconnected from reality. She thinks that the average guy is out here having coffee dates with women so that he can fit more women in. That should tell you everything you need to know about the type of men that this woman is dating. These women are dating men with all of the options, and then they complain when they get treated like an option. They don't want to date the normal guys. They don't want to date the dudes who are nice, who are making 60K a year, who are 5'10", 5'9". They don't, like, these guys are for the most part invisible. But again, these women do not live in reality. That's why they say crap like this. In their head, it makes sense because that's the reality of their dating. The reality of their dating is that they are dating dudes who have to do this, who, fit in a whole bunch of women who are, who do it for that reason. But this is not the average man. What she's describing right here is not the average man. But of course, she applies it to men. Interesting.
Which some people consider as innocent and fine, but for me, who's dating with purpose and who spends a long time getting to know somebody.
Dating with purpose, spending a long time to get to know somebody, I don't buy it, man. Like, all the women who say crap like this have been with so many dudes, it's actually insane. Oh, I'm dating seriously, as opposed to what? Not dating seriously? Like, guys, beware of these women who say, I'm dating with a purpose, you know, I'm really spending a long time getting to know somebody. This is what they tell simps, by the way. We need to be best friends first. It's a complete lie. We need to get to know each other over the period of, 12 months. We need to align our morals. Meanwhile, Chad's out here. There's no aligning of morals anywhere. He doesn't need to get to know her for 12 months. This is all nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
So that when I do go on that date with them, I'm dating somebody that I know I already have interest in. That does not work for me. And if you're a woman that doesn't want to be dated like that, that is not going to work for you. That's why I say no to coffee dates. And so I will spend a while getting to know somebody, because again, a lot of this comment section is saying, well, coffee dates are just a really casual way of getting to know somebody. As a woman, I'm not going and meeting somebody I barely know. It's not fucking safe. Second of all, I'm spending about 2 weeks minimum talking to a guy before I go on a date.
Oh, bull crap. That's no. I don't buy this. This is what she does for the simps, okay? The simps have to spend 2 weeks talking to her ass on social media. I guarantee you this is not the case. I guarantee you this woman has met up with dudes before who didn't have to speak to her on social media for 2 weeks to get to know her. Please understand, guys, this is the misleading crap that women tell you when they're not attracted to you. And also, here's another reason why a lot of guys prefer coffee dates. Do you know why a lot of dudes do coffee dates? They specifically do coffee dates to weed out women like you who are looking for them to spend more on them, right? Like they're trying to weed out the women who are just there to see how much they can extract from the man. So right? This woman is leading with, hey, I need you to give me 2 weeks of free attention, and then I need you to take me out, and I need you to spend money on me. See how she's extracting, she's doing everything she can to get the most out of men up front, which would be fine. Okay, this would be a fine thing to do if I believed that this woman was celibate and she was saving herself for marriage and she was a traditional woman. But this is a woman who's dating with purpose, quote unquote, who makes TikTok videos. No, I don't buy it. I simply do not buy it.
If he's really, really local, maybe a week and a half. But most of the time I'm dating guys that are far away, so it's usually 2 weeks. And the reason why I'm doing this, one, for my safety, but two, also because if I can talk to that guy for a while, I've got a very good idea of who he is. Now, do you know that man properly? Absolutely not. And I'm not going to be naive enough to say that you do. But you have a better understanding of his values, what he stands for, what he likes, what he's into, whether or not he's misogynistic, homophobic, racist. These things will come up in conversation if you are smart enough. You have to know what to ask. And if you spend a while getting to know a guy and asking his questions first, you don't have to go on a coffee date to not waste your time and to be able to get away quicker, because you would have already known the type of man, to the best of your ability, that you'll be going on a date with. And this is why I always do a 1 to 2 week period of talking and asking really important questions.
So here's the thing. I really want to stress this for a second, guys, okay? On paper, I actually agree with this woman, right? I know that sounds stupid. Taylor, you're agreeing with the psychotic woman who makes the TikTok videos. But what she's doing is actually correct, right? Like what she's doing is, this is what she says she's doing. Mind you, I don't think she's actually doing this for men that she's attracted to. But this is a smart strategy for women, You get to know the man, you understand him first, then you go meet up with him. Ideally, he invests into you, and so on and so forth. Okay, and this is the way things traditionally worked. Fantastic. I'm actually a fan of traditional dating. The problem is, these women are not traditional. They want these things that are benefits to them, right? Like these are all things that benefit women. Okay, cool. But what does the man get in return for these things? A woman who has serially dated with purpose. Like, listen to the way this woman is speaking. She has dated a whole bunch of men to the point where she can logically lay this out for you as to her normal experience with men. She talks about dating men as if it's how she does her laundry. And that is a huge concern for me, man. Usually what I do when I go out on dates with men is I have this I have this step process, and I do this because of this and this because of this. The only way women get to saying crap like this is if they've been with 75 dudes. Again, dudes don't have an issue necessarily with you requiring more than a coffee date. What they have an issue with is the women actually being worth it. And a lot of the times, the women are actually just lying about their methodology when they go out there dating. They're completely fabricating it, hoping that you will buy it, hoping that you'll say, yeah, you know what? This woman's looking to date seriously. She's one of the real ones. And then you date this woman. She will ruin your life and she will make it a terrible experience for you. I guarantee you that.
Do a 1 to 2 week period of talking and asking really important questions. I'm not doing small talk straight away. I'm dating with intention, so I'm asking important questions. I'm asking questions that somebody who's 30 asks because I'm not wasting my time.
And there it is. Okay, I didn't know this woman's age, but it's funny, now that we're 30, now we're dating with purpose. Okay? 30, let that sink in, guys. Now that we've been through all the bad boys, we know what men are doing, right? We understand the game. Now that we've been with 75 different dudes, now we want to vet men. Now we want them to take us seriously and invest up front. You didn't do any of this crap when you were like 20. Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, they completely do this last minute because they realize that they're running out of time to have children and to get married. That's all that this is. They're not actually traditional women. It's a complete lie. Insane.
Even as a woman who doesn't want to get married, doesn't want children, I'm still dating with purpose. I'm still
Yeah, because you need a retirement still.
Dating with the idea of if I'm going to be with a man, it's going to be hopefully for the rest of my life. And so because I'm dating with that idea in mind, I'm going to ask important questions. I'm going to ask the questions that are really important, like religion, like children, like marriage, like where do you stand on feminism? What's your political views?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so you have to be a left-leaning womanist who aligns with all of her views. And guys, I'm telling you, right, if you have a relationship with this woman, my goodness, you're in for a rough ride, my friend.
Wrong with asking that beforehand. You can ask it quite light-hearted, you can ask it quite casually, you can ask it more towards the end of the date. But also, if you're talking to a man that's also dating with intention, he's probably going to want to ask you those same questions as well. So it's actually beneficial for both of you. If you were doing this, then you wouldn't have to worry about getting away from a coffee date. You wouldn't have to worry about oh, I feel awkward, so I want to leave. Because you'd already kind of know the man you're dating-ish, enough to have a better idea. It's better for your safety and it's better for you working out if this is the type of man I want to date. And I think the same goes for men as well. You want to know if it's the type of woman you want to date. But a lot of men are actually going to coffee dates because if they can get you on a casual date, then they might better get you in a casual situation. And a lot of these men are also thinking, well, I've got 3 or 4 girls in a week and I like 2 of them. I've got a roster.
Yeah, again, not living in reality. The majority of men don't have a roster. The majority of men take women out on coffee dates, if they do, for the reason of weeding out women such as yourself, by the way. And also, if you're talking about aligning political views and everything like this, let me just say this. Men who are looking for long-term relationships, the ones who have self-respect and who maybe have been screwed over a couple of times, so they understand, they're not looking to settle down with womanists. Right? Like, this is the last kind of individual. I have never met a man who's like, you know what? I want to settle down with a progressive, liberal, left-leaning womanist who's over the age of 30, who is now looking for a casual relationship. I have never heard a man say that. Not once. And a lot of my friends, they don't care for politics. They don't know. Okay, they don't know left-leaning. They don't care. But they know that they don't want to have a relationship with a woman who fits the criteria of being a 30-plus-year-old womanist who requires you to take her out on a dinner date.
I'm a woman that's not dating with a roster, so therefore I'm not going to date a man that wants to date with a roster.
Wait, you just said, though, that you have a whole process for vetting men because you've been dating a whole bunch of dudes. So are you just dating them one after the other? Are we doing like a series? So let me get this straight. When you're getting to know a man, you don't have a roster, but you talk to them for 2 weeks at a time, and then you get to know them, and then you get them to take you out on a dinner date or something, and then it goes from there. And it's failed up until this point. Again, I don't believe this, guys. I really don't.
And because a coffee date screams that to me, that's why I won't do a coffee date. And to me, that's just common sense because, again, if you ask a man honestly, they will tell on themselves. And if you spend long enough talking to a man, they do tell on themselves. So if you're talking to a man for a very short amount of time and then going straight to a coffee date, of course you haven't got enough time to realise what his intentions are because you've not given him enough time to tell on himself. Another thing I'll say is, if you're
Oh,
speaking to a
lovely.
man for a while, one, if he's doing that, you know he's interested. If he's trying to speed it along, go straight to the date, that to me is not a man that's interested in me enough. And I've never dated a man that does try to speed it along. As soon as they try to speed it along, I'm out. But if a man is talking to you for a while, you know he's genuinely interested in getting to know you, not being there for lust, not being there to kiss or go to something else straight away, or just to look at you. They actually want to get to know who you are first. So one, you get told that, great, that's great confirmation that they like you for who you are. Two, if they spend a while getting to know you, and I mean properly getting to know you to the point where they think, oh, I actually quite like this girl, I guarantee they'll make the date better.
Okay, so we're just going to pause the video there, man. I don't think I can actually take any more of this woman talking. I wonder what her word count for this video is. It's got to be like just well in the thousands of just absolute yapping. Again, I don't know what kind of man is looking to settle down with a 30-plus-year-old womanist who's now taking dating seriously, who requires you to get to know her over the course of weeks. You know, and make no mistake, these women, what they're trying to do as well is they're trying to use you for your attention while they go out here and actually hook up with dudes, right? I don't believe that this woman just gets to know dudes over a week of 2 weeks or whatever, and then while she's vetting these men in the most careful way she possibly can, which is a good strategy, by the way, I don't think she's celibate in the meantime. I think Chad skips the line, he has his fun, and this is who she's talking to, right? These are the men that she's talking to who are saying these sorts of things about the rosters, because these are Chads. These are guys who have a lot of options for women, with women. But this woman can't differentiate that this is not the average man's experience whatsoever. It really isn't. And again, she's talking here. She's saying, oh, men tell on themselves. I think this woman has done nothing personally but tell on herself. We are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.